I live in countryside and I usually order art supplies online, but sometimes the website doesn't tell me exactly what I need to know before I purchase. That's why I started sharing about the sketchbook I used, so people like me can take my notes or impressions into their consideration. All the sketchbooks are bought with my money, no sponsoring, so I can tell my honest review. And today we are reviewing a Hahnemühle Sketch Book 120 GSM. The basic information about this sketchbook is like this: 124 pages. The paper weight is 120 GSM, natural white color, and it lays flat, but you might need paper clips sometimes. And I bought this sketchbook for 89 Swedish krona. The price will differ where you live or where you shop. I just wanted to say that this sketchbook is rather cheap option here in Sweden. Probably same within the EU too. And here's the paper color comparison. In my eyes, it looks a little bit off-whitish, but it's similar to watercolor paper, and it's not that creamy yellow like Art Creation or Sakura sketchbook. Hahnemühle says this is a drawing sketchbook. It's meant to use dry media like pencils, charcoals, but it felt like a mixed media sketchbook to me with a slightly rough paper. Let me show you the paper. So official Hahnemühle website says this is a 120 GSM paper, but I felt like it's thicker paper than a Royal Talent's Art Creation sketchbook because it took watercolor and ink better than the Art Creation sketchbook. So this paper is a little bit rough. There's a little bit tooth to it. So if I write with fine nib fountain pen, it's a bit scratchy and a bit hard to write. I think medium nibs glide fine though. And this paper takes fountain pen ink very nicely. It doesn't bleed through to other page, which Art Creation did a lot often. If I use a lot of ink, there might be ghosting a little bit because there's a little bit tooth to it. The pencils, color pencils, some markers, and even the pastels can't get into this depth, so there will be some white spots. I personally don't mind the paper showing their texture, but some people prefer smooth paper for pencil, I think. And for the watercolor, I can take wet media, I think. It's not that bad. I might say even better than Art Creation, but I could say there's a little bit resistance when you put down water, so that might result uneven color. I don't know the reason why there's a little bit resistance here. Is it coated with something? I don't know. Maybe because of this. They don't want to market this sketchbook as mixed media sketchbook or watercolor sketchbook maybe. So keep in mind if you use watercolor. And I occasionally use acrylic gouache, and it was nice experience as gouache beginner. When I used acrylic gouache for Art Creation sketchbook, it sometimes bled through the other side. Maybe it's user error, but in this paper the paint was staying the page. I could work on same spot for quite a long time. I don't use alcohol markers, so I can't really tell about it. I'm sorry about that. But I don't really like alcohol markers because it bleed through most definitely to any kind of paper. So pro about this sketchbook: the paper can take wet media such as fountain pen ink or watercolor, acrylic gouache. And then cons are for fountain pen user, fine nibs, extra fine nibs, the really thin nib type of pens. It feels really very scratchy. And this is a slightly rough paper, kind of like a cold press paper. If you like cold press, you might like it. If you don't like cold pressed paper, you might not like it. In summary, I would recommend this sketchbook for people who use multimedia like watercolor, gouache, dry media, any kind of media, who wants to try out in their mood day by day. Because I wouldn't use it only for dry media drawings, because this paper is very sturdy and very thick. I think this sketchbook might be good for travel sketchbook too, and art journals. So thank you for watching. I hope this information helps you to decide if you want to make a purchase or not. And see you next time.